But
G'day, welcome back to the 3CIR podcast. I'm Joel Slate-Cairns, and if you're tuning in on the commute, in the gym, or hiding from your inbox, you've picked a good day to join us.
I'm Ryan Jury Delaney. Hiding from your inbox is a legitimate training drill, by the way. Right? Mate, good to be here. And if you're new, we're two ex-military blokes who care a lot about helping people level up. Veterans, emergency services, and civilians through smart pathways like RPL and online calls. That's the mission at 3CIR.
Exactly. At the heart of 3CIR, we've got 5 tenets: courage, commitment, camaraderie, integrity, and respect. Those words aren't stickers on a wall, they're how we show up. Founded by ADF Army vets, built for folks like you, navigating what's next, whether that's transitioning out, stepping up at work, or finally chasing the thing you've put off for years.
And if you're one of the emergency services legends tuning in between night shifts, we see you. You're in the thick of it, and we make this show for you too. Practical, no fluff, straight into tools that work in real life.
Speaking of tools that work, today we're diving into learning online. Why study online in Australia with 3CIR? Big question, simple answer, because life's messy and online done right bends around life instead of snapping it in two.
You're talking flexibility. Freedom to log in when it works, not when a bell rings. We had bells in the army. I don't miss the bells.
Not once. One of the best bits about 3CIR's online training is flexibility and convenience. No commute, no fixed classroom. You set the tempo. You can be on base, FIFO, regional WA, or wrangling kids at home. Still on track.
Picture this. You've got a 12-hour shift tomorrow, you've got a dog that thinks it's a personal trainer, and your boss just added urgent to 3 emails. Traditional classroom? Not happening. Online? Do a module tonight, quiz on Saturday, coach's feedback Monday morning. That is the difference.
And a lot of you ask, can I actually get a legit qualification online? Yes. 3CIR offers everything from short professional development to nationally recognized qualifications. If you're angling for a Cert IV in project management, or you're eyeing off a diploma in leadership and management, there's a pathway for you.
I love that you said pathway, because for our crowd, ADF, policing, fireys, AMBOs, you've already banked a mountain of learning. Through recognition of prior learning, or RPL, we take that experience and map it to units so you're not starting from scratch.
We'll get deeper into RPL in a bit. Open loop, keep listening. But first, I want to hit quality. Online's only as good as the design. 3CR courses are designed by industry experts who track what's happening right now in workplaces, not last decade, not a dusty binder. Current industry trends, best practice, sharpened to the job you actually want.
That matters when you turn up to an interview and the panel asks, have you used a risk matrix in a real context? And you can say, yep. Plus, here's the incident review I ran and the corrective actions I implemented. It stands up because it's industry calibrated.
Let's talk money. Cost-effective learning. We're not shy about saying online can be a smarter financial play. You save on travel, accommodation, parking fines. I've had those. Textbooks. 3CIR's got digital resources baked in, so you're not hauling a bag of manuals.
My chiropractor misses those days. Seriously though, if you've ever tried to tack on a uni subject while working full time, you know the hidden costs add up. Virtual study cuts a lot of that out. If you're budgeting for a transition or planning a career pivot, that matters.
And the kicker? Cost effective doesn't mean cheap or flimsy. The goal is affordable without compromising quality, which is why a lot of our learners come back for the next step. Cert, then diploma, then advanced diploma. It stacks.
All right, networking. People think online equals solo, not with 3CIR. You jump into a community with learners from across Australia and all over the world. The forums and discussion boards are proper, questions fly, case studies get unpacked, and by week 2, you're swapping LinkedIns and hey, we're hiring messages.
I had a bloke from Townsville post a logistics problem, classic supply chain snarl with time pressure. And someone in Perth was like, here's how we solved it in our operation. Here's a template. Here's a contact. That's real networking. It's not great post, and a thumbs up, it's usable.
And for our emergency services friends, it's gold to hear how a safety protocol in one state maps to another's risk environment. You get a broader lens, which makes your CV stronger and your brain faster.
Now, customized learning experience. We all learn differently. Some of you love a video, some want a workbook, some want a coach on a Zoom call. 3CR's platform lets you set your goals, lock your pace, and pick resources that suit you. You're not trapped in a one-size-fits-none lecture.
You know what I mean? There's space to go deeper if you're curious, and space to move quicker if you've already been living it. Plus, personalized feedback, not just a tick across. I saw a trainer leave a 3-minute voice note breaking down how a student structured a risk assessment. It was clear, respectful, and you could action it straight away.
That feedback loop is the accelerator. It keeps you on track and stops you from spinning the wheels. And if you want support, the 3CIR team is there. Trainers, student services, all of it online, all responsive.
We have to talk digital skills. Enhanced digital skills is more than a feature, it's oxygen. Modern workplaces expect you to manage platforms, collaborate online, present data clearly. Studying online builds those muscles: file management, online etiquette, collaboration tools, and, yep, clear communication in writing.
Exactly. You'll use discussion boards, online submissions, rubrics, then you translate that straight into Teams, Slack, emails that actually get read. When a hiring manager sees you navigated an online qualification with distinction, they tick self-directed, digitally fluent, and disciplined. That's attractive.
And that goes for small business owners too. If you're out there running security ops or a WHS consultancy, better digital habits equal more clients and less chaos. There's nothing like shaving 2 hours off admin every week because you finally standardized your processes. Online learning can give you that.
Let's ground this. Flexibility and convenience means you set the pace from anywhere. I know a mum in Darwin who studies during nap time and after bedtime stories. She smashed out a Cert 4 while her partner was on deployment. On weekends, they'd compare notes like, yours had sand, mine had spreadsheets.
I've got Mitch, ex-infantry, now working in facilities management. He did the upskilling track, some short courses on leadership and problem solving, then used RPL to claim a big chunk of a diploma. His words, "I didn't realize my toolkit was this full." That's the beauty of recognition. You've got skills, we translate them into a language HR respects.
On that note, if you're listening and wondering whether RPL's for you, quick snapshot. You gather your evidence. Service records, quals, position descriptions, recommendations, examples of work like risk registers or training plans, and a 3CIR assessor maps it against the competency standards. If you meet them, you get credit. If there are gaps, we fill them with targeted online study. That's not starting over, that's finishing smart.
Hang tight, we'll circle back to RPL with more detail, including defense-specific pathways. Open loop still open, but can we talk fun? People forget learning can be fun. If you haven't seen 3CIR's video range, jump on and browse. Leadership, HR, WHS, security, business, marketing, government, project management, the lot. Bite-sized, practical, and for some reason, watching a WHS clip while you're sipping coffee just gives the day a professional glow up.
You said WHS and coffee. That is the most adult sentence I've heard today. Those videos are a good entry point if you're skimming fields to see what clicks. Curious about government pathways? There's an intro. Thinking security management? There's a taste. It helps you pick where to go deeper.
And once you pick, 3CIR's course library is built to meet you where you are. Want to sample a skill for job security like the upskilling programs? Easy. Want the full nationally recognized qualification? Done. The consistency across the platform reduces friction. You log in, it's clean, it's user-friendly, it remembers where you left off. No labyrinths.
Let's toggle to a Mythbuster. Myth 1, online study is easier. No. It's flexible, but the standards are legit. You're assessed against the same competencies and the bar doesn't drop. What changes is your ability to do it around your life and get support tailored to your tempo.
Myth 2. Online is lonely. Also, no. If you show up in the forum even once a week, ask a real question, share a real story, you'll find your crew. And accountability buddies are a hack. Team up with someone on your timeline and check in on Sundays. 5 minutes of wins and next steps goes a long way.
All right, practical tips if you're considering jumping in. 1. Time box it. 2. 45-minute study blocks beat a 4-hour guilt marathon that never happens. 2. Use the goals feature. 3. Ask for feedback early. Don't wait until your capstone to see if you're on target.
4. Link it to your day job. If you're writing a comms plan for assessment and your team needs one anyway, ask your boss if you can use that as your submission. you'll meet the criteria and deliver value at work. Win-win. And it looks great when you talk about impact in your CV.
Great point. And for those hunting career clarity, have a look at 3CIR's pages around education versus experience. It's not a fight, it's a partnership. Experience shows you can do it. The qualification frames it so other people get it fast. That's why HR lights up when they see both.
Quick detour, because I know a lot of you are eyeing project management. Cert IV in project management has a section on stakeholder engagement that blew a student's mind last month. They were like, I've been doing this in the army for 10 years. I just didn't call it stakeholder engagement. Exactly. You've been aligning interests, mitigating risk, managing scope. You just need the translation layer.
We promised we'd swing back to RPL, so let's do it. 3CIR are known for recognition of prior learning. It's a cornerstone because so many of you come in with deep, hard-earned skills. The RPL process reduces duplication and respects your time. We can assess you remotely, no need to sit in a classroom relearning hand signals you taught half the unit 5 years ago.
And if you're defense right now or recently out, hang around for our next episode because we're going big on Defense RPL, military transition experts, and how to start your ADF transition path with 3CIR. We'll talk through assessment, enrollment, graduation, the whole runway. Teaser officially teased.
Before we close loops, a few more notes on networking online. Don't underestimate the doors it opens. I saw a safety officer from Queensland post their WHS audit toolset. 2 weeks later, they were consulting for a small business in the NT. Remote, online, invoice sent. The network is real.
Plus, the soft skills. When you bounce feedback with strangers who become colleagues, your communication tightens. You learn to be clear without being a jerk. You learn to ask better questions. Hiring managers love that. Teammates love that. Your future self definitely loves that.
How does this play with busy rosters? You carve your week into beats. Monday night, 45 minutes watch and note. Wednesday morning, quiz and reflect. Saturday coffee, draft and assessment. Sunday feedback check, repeat. If you miss a beat because life, no panic. The course is still there on Tuesdays.
And if you're FIFO or on deployment, download what you can in advance. Know your windows. We've had folks pause for 2 weeks during exercise periods, then come back and power through. The platform doesn't judge, it just saves your spot.
I want to underline the quality piece again. When courses are designed by people immersed in the field, the examples are real. You get case studies from Australian contexts, you get best practice from current industry trends, and you walk away with skills you can deploy on Monday.
On cost again, because it's a real factor. I did the math with someone last month, commuting, parking, a couple of paper textbooks, and the time cost of bricking off a whole weekend for a workshop. It was almost double what their online pathway cost. And they finished faster because of RPL.
Which brings us to speed. RPL Plus online learning means you're not waiting for semesters. You start when you're ready. You finish when you hit the competencies. That is adult learning at its most respectful.
Let's run a couple of scenarios. Scenario 1, Sarah, paramedic, 10 years in, wants to move into health service management. She uses RPL to claim units for leadership, risk, and communication. She completes the gaps online with modules on business operations and HR basics. She takes the 3CIR HR video series for flavor, submits a capstone on resource allocation at her station, and boom, qualification in hand, ready for an internal promotion.
Scenario 2. Mick, infantry to security operations. He's been coordinating patrols, writing incident reports, planning contingencies. Through RPL, he maps a heap of units toward a security and risk management qualification, fills in the policy and compliance side online, jumps into the forums to swap notes with a government security officer in Canberra, and lands an interview with a corporate security firm that pulls him in, partly because he can talk WHS and stakeholder risk in their language.
Scenario 3. Priya, civilian marketing pro mid-career, wants to step into management. She does a leadership and marketing pathway online with 3CIR, loves the content on planning and analytics, and the networking gives her a collaborator in another state. They co-design a campaign as an assessment. It lands, documented, measurable. Her boss says yes to the promotion because the evidence is right there.
The thread through all of those is clarity. Online learning gives you structure, RPL clears the path, and the platform makes the work tangible. Not vague, I'm a team player. I led a project with constraints. Here's the plan. Here's the outcome.
Quick aside about the 3CIR ecosystem. If you're in explore mode, go poke around the online study page, the upskilling for job security resources, and if the RPL page sparks for you, click the pre-assessment and find out in plain English what you could be eligible for. No guesswork, no fluff.
We get asked about support a lot. Yes, there's a human on the other end. More than one. If you get stuck, you're not screaming into the void. You've got trainers, you've got student services, and you've got peers.
Also, please don't wait until an assessment is due tomorrow to ask the question. Ask early. Trainers love curiosity. It makes their day, and you get what you came for, competence, not just a certificate.
And let's not forget, online learning is as serious as you make it. Treat it with the respect you gave to training in uniform. Turn up, do the reps, take the feedback. It pays you back.
You know what line I keep hearing in my head? Say goodbye to commuter stress. It's cheeky, but think about the hours you get back when you're studying from the couch or the station break room instead of burning petrol to sit in traffic.
I'll pocket the hours, thanks. And if you're a leader listening, consider supporting your team to study online. It builds capability quickly without wrecking the roster. Offer an hour a week protected study time, throw in a coffee card for milestones, and watch your retention go up.
Let's do quick hits on the big themes to lock them in. Learning online with 3CIR. Flexibility and convenience, cost effective without cutting corners, networking that actually leads to jobs, customized learning that adapts to you, quality courses designed by industry experts, and a bonus, enhanced digital skills that employers expect.
Plus, fun. It's allowed to be fun. It's okay to enjoy learning. In fact, it's one of the best signs you picked the right path. If a module hooks your attention and you want to go deeper, that's a green light.
What about assessments? People get nervous. Standard. The platform sets clear expectations. You'll know what competent looks like before you submit, and the trainers are not out to trick you. They want you to win.
And if you're thinking, am I too late to start? Answer, no. Start with one unit. Start with one video. Start with an RPL pre-assessment. Momentum builds fast when you see progress on the dashboard.
For our defence and emergency services legends, we've walked this road. The transition asks for courage and commitment, the same values we lived by in uniform. You've got camaraderie here too. The 3CIR learning community won't let you drift. Integrity and respect, that's how the training is delivered and how we expect you to show up.
All right, a few quick stories from the inbox. A firefighter in Victoria knocked over a diploma in work health and safety while juggling overtime during bushfire season. She said the tailored learning let her push through when shifts allowed and pause when they didn't, without losing momentum.
An Army signals operator leveraged RPL to earn credit towards a business qualification, then used the online marketing modules to spin up a side hustle. Their comment, I thought I'd be behind civilians in the digital race. Turns out I just needed the language and some reps. That's online study doing its job.
And an HR manager wrote to say their new team leader, ex-ADF, stood out because they could translate experience into frameworks. They literally said, this person didn't just do leadership, they understood leadership as a competency with measurable outcomes. That's education meeting experience. Head on.
If you want to get a feel for styles, go watch the 3CIR videos. Leadership, HR, WHS, security, business, marketing, government, project management. Taste test before you commit. It helps you calibrate.
Before we wrap, let's connect today's topic to where we're going next. You've heard how online learning flexes around your life and accelerates growth. Next episode, we're hitting qualifications that aid your journey and why qualifications are critical for ADF transitions.
We're going to zoom in on RPL for defence members, the comprehensive defence courses on offer, and how Defence Services Online make the process painless. We'll bring in our military transition experts, walk through the assessment, enrolment and graduation milestones so you can see the whole arc.
And we'll spotlight Defence RPL specifically. If you want to peek ahead, go to 3cr.com/optimize your options through a Defence RPL. If you're like me and allergic to typing long URLs, just search 3CIR Defence RPL. Optimize your options. You'll find it.
End of episode mission brief. If today sparked something, explore 3CIR's tools and resources, the online courses page, the online study info, upskilling pathways, and that RPL pre-assessment. Choose one small action. 10 minutes. Get the ball rolling.
And if you're on the fence, ask yourself this: what would future you thank present you for starting today? Usually, it's the thing that puts you in motion. Online learning can be that.
We'll leave it there. Stick with us next time for qualifications to aid your journey. Why are qualifications critical for ADF transitions? RPL for defence members, comprehensive defence courses, defence services online, military transition experts. Start your ADF transition path with 3CIR and the step-by-steps: assessment, enrol, graduation, and are you ready to explore 3CIR? Reach out and let's begin today.
Solid lineup. Until then, keep your courage high, your commitments tight, camaraderie close, and your integrity and respect front and center. And hey, no commute required.
No commute, but coffee still recommended. Catch you soon.